Hi, Dr. C here with more MPJE study tips for you. Today we're going to talk about federal law versus state law on the MPJE. This is an important topic and you need to understand it when you're answering questions on the MPJE. The MPJE stands for Multi-State Pharmacy Jurisprudence Exam. That means that the exam is used by many states, and while there will be questions based on federal law that most states can include on the exam, there are some questions on the exam that are based strictly on state law. You don't have to worry when you're taking the exam, do I answer the question under federal law or do I answer the question under state law? You answer every question on the exam based on the law in the state that you are taking the exam for. So how does this work? Well, to understand this, you have to understand that when we have a state law and a federal law on a particular topic, you always follow the stricter law. So if the state law is stricter, that's the law that applies, and you answer the question based on the state law. If the federal law happens to be stricter, you answer the question based on the federal law. Let me give you an example. If the federal law classifies a drug as a Schedule III controlled substance, but the state law classifies it as a Schedule II controlled substance, the answer to a question on how you treat that drug is you treat it as a Schedule II controlled substance because Schedule II is stricter than Schedule III. The state law would apply. Now the MPJE is not going to ask you, what schedule is this drug in under federal law? They won't ask questions like that. They will simply ask, what schedule is this drug in? And you have to answer it based on the law in the state for which you're taking the exam. And ABP makes this very clear in the NAPLEX MPJE Candidate Application Bulletin, where it specifically says that no distinction is made on the MPJE between federal law and state law, and candidates should always answer the question based on the laws of the jurisdiction where you're seeking licensure. Now, 9 times out of 10, either the state law or the federal law is going to be stricter than the other one, and you can answer it according to whichever is stricter. In the rare case where the laws are completely contradict each other and you can't follow one without violating the other, that doesn't happen too often, the federal law would actually win out, and that's because of the supremacy clause in the U.S. Constitution. When this does happen, it's very rare, but a good example would be marijuana. That's the reason why marijuana is technically still an illegal substance under federal law, and all those state laws that legalize marijuana or medicinal marijuana are, from a technical standpoint, not really valid. Now that's a topic for a whole nother video that we don't have time to get into, but you should remember to always answer the questions on the MPJE according to the stricter law. The bottom line is, make sure you go into the exam answering every question based on the state you're taking the exam for. Oftentimes, states like to focus on those areas where their state laws are different from the federal law and stricter from the federal law. So you really want to focus on those areas for whatever state you're taking the exam for. Thanks for watching, and be sure to subscribe below and sign up for our free updates on our website.